video, we'll be talking about Dream Evil by Dio. The album is celebrating its 35th anniversary. It was released on July 21st, 1987. In this video, I will talk about the album, who was in the band at the time, and then talk about the songs. So check this out. I've shown this before in other videos, but this Dio box set has the first 5 albums. Really great deal. I got it on Amazon. It's a really good price. So if you want to, build your collection, you can get the first 5 albums. So the album I'm going to talk about is this one, Dream Evil. Really great album covers. Very spooky. Has that their mascot. I don't even know the mascot's name, but he's in the window, and it's really awesome. So let's talk about this album. So the album was released on the same day as Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. I actually did a video of that with a Chill Dude on the Couch reviews. You can check that out on his channel. And this is his 3rd album. It has a sound similar to the last 2 albums. I always thought of this band being a continuation of like the 2 albums that Dio did with Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and Mob Rules. Kind of like that sound, but a little more of like a heavier metal sound, less of that Black Sabbath Doom sound. So let's talk about the lineup. We have Ronnie James Dio on vocals, of course. On drums, we have Vinny Appice. He also played with Dio in Black Sabbath, and he played with so many different metal bands. It really would be too long to list. On bass guitar is Jimmy Bain. He was in Rainbow for a while, and he worked with Phil Lynott from Phil Lizzy on the solo albums. He was the bass player on the Rainbow Rising album. That's a very important album in the history of metal. On guitars, Craig Goldy. He played in many different bands apart from Dio. He currently plays with the Resurrection Kings. They did an album last year. I did a review of that. And they have a keyboard player on this album. His name is Claude Schnell. And he's also in the band Last in Line. So this was the last album that Claude Schnell did with the Dio band. So let's talk about the songs. There are 9 songs. The album is 43 minutes long. First song, Night People. Really great intro, chugging guitars. This is an example of classic heavy metal. Ronnie James Dio sings in his usual style with some great soaring vocals. There's some keyboards in the background. This helps add to the sound. The song is a very good sound quality. You hear the thumping bass guitar very well. The guitar solo is a shredder. The song does a really good job of using those isolated vocals at some parts during the chorus, and that helps bring out the sound. Now the next song is probably my favorite. Like right off the bat, this one reminds me of a song that could have been on the Rainbow Rising album. Just that guitar riff is very similar to that like Ritchie Blackmore style. The song is very catchy. They have a really nice blend of guitars, bass, and keyboards. Creates a very full sound. Now my favorite part of the song is when Ronnie James Dio sings that 4th, I think it's like the 3rd verse, and he's like, Dream Evil. You can listen to the song, know what I'm talking about. They kind of make this distorted tone. I really love that. Adds a lot of emotion to the song. And I haven't mentioned anything about the drumming, but there are a lot of great fast and heavy drum fills throughout the song. Superman, this is a really underrated song. Has a very epic, slow-building intro, followed by like a classic heavy metal guitar riff. Has a really great bass guitar sound in the intro. The drumming is very good. The vocals are awesome as usual. And the chorus is really good. It has like a slower Black Sabbath style riff in the chorus with a traditional fast-paced heavy metal during the verses. Song is a breakdown section, just really great vocals and drums followed by the bass guitar. And the band does a really good job of like knowing when to use those like isolated instruments and vocals, like I said in the previous track. And this is a really great song, Sunset Superman. So anyway, All the Fools Sail Away. This is one of my favorite ballads. Really slow building, clean guitar intro. Dio gives one of his best vocal performances. They slowly add in some light keyboard sounds as the song builds. And they bring in the guitars, have the slow chugging power chords. You hear some keyboard sounds in the background. It gets the vocals are very epic. They add in some slower atmospheric parts, some melodic solos, keyboard solo, very futuristic sounding solo. And the song is a great example of the high level of musicianship on this album. It's also kind of song that it's a long song. It's like 7 minutes, and like you always think it's gonna end, but it really doesn't. They keep adding in like these new verses, but it's just a really good song. And just great vocals. It's like, all the fools sailed away. And I probably shouldn't sing this because I can't really do Ronnie James Dio any justice, but I had to do that one more verse. So anyway, next track, Naked in the Rain, good song. It's a heavy song. Has kind of classic rock feel, similar to maybe like a Deep Purple, you know. Has a very full sound as the guitars and keyboards playing together. Song has a very epic feel to it. Ronnie James Dio gives a very emotional performance. And the song's a rocker. Not a lot of not very high energy, but more of a very emotional song. Just very melodic, high level of musicianship. The title, Naked in the Rain, first I'm thinking, you know, that would be like really cold if you're naked in the rain, but then if it's like during a heat wave, that would actually be refreshing. But anyway, next song, Over Love. I like the intro to this one. It has a cool blues rock guitar intro, followed by some awesome drumming by Vinny Appice. This one's a hard rocker. It has a faster pace, lots of energy going on in the song, and fueled with power chords and high energy rhythms. I Could Have Been a Dreamer. The song is a little slower pace, but it's still very heavy. Chugging guitar sound in the verse section, and the chorus is melodic. The keyboards are present throughout the song. Ronnie James Dio gives a really powerful vocal performance. The song is memorable. It really shows off the great songwriting skills of the band. And I love the chorus. I could have been a dreamer. And that's all I'm going to be singing for this video. And Faces in the Window. This one gets a little heavier, faster pace, harder riffs. Song has a great melody. Vocals are awesome. And the thing that stood out for me on this song is the guitar solo. Really works well in the context of the song. Another song that blends like the heaviness of classic metal with those melodies of 80s hard rock. The song is a very full sound with great musicianship. And the last song, When a Woman Cries, very 80s metal type of sound. I cannot stress like the drumming. And I usually don't talk about drums. I'm more of a guitar guy, but the drumming is really great. The song has a nice mix of keyboards, nice melodies, great hard rock guitar riffs. The vocals are awesome as always. The song is memorable, the chorus is catchy, and the breakdown sounds very good. So in conclusion, sorry, when people think of the Dio band, I think people, you know, think of like the first two albums, you know, like Last in Line, Holy Diver. You know, people say those are the best. But I would say this one, it's right up there, you know. It's probably one of the best albums. I think like they kind of like took a step down a little on these two, and that's it. So I did a review of Dehumanizer. That's the last official Black Sabbath album with Ronnie James Dio. Check that out. It will be linked right next to me. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.